Hey Tribe, welcome back to Tribe Tuesday, where together we are going to have a financial makeover. 12 mini workshops to make over our finances so that we don't have so much worry about money, which is one of the top worries in Asia, in Singapore, or likely in all over the world. So we talk about the idea of money slavery. Are we working for money or is money working for us? I'm not talking about investing, but is money serving our needs? Or are we really like making choices because we have no choice due to financial constraints? Now, this is the 12, or rather 8 steps mini roadmap that we talk about. And in each session, we talk about the key principles of how to achieve that. But first, most important principle, nothing belongs to us. Think about it. When you came, you take nothing, or you have nothing. And when you're gone, you will take away nothing. So everything belongs to God. Now, this is a good news. It is a good news. Because a loving God is someone who cares about you. Cast all your money worries back to Him. So don't have to worry about something that doesn't belong to us. And as mentioned, when we are gone from this world, what is important is how we use these resources to build relationships, to build the kingdom of God, to really build our own character. So we have talked about like various ways of building like money, getting rid of debt, financial key ratios that matters. And today, let's talk about budgeting, which is the latte factor. Now, it's going to be very interesting today because we're going to find extra cash to learn. Like these are the pockets of money that we are spending unnecessarily. We're going to find them. We're going to put them into like a place where we're going to compound them. So the second part of the workshop, we'll talk about investing. But right now, let's go to this latte factor. Now, the whole idea came from David Bach, the automatic millionaire. So very interesting book. He talked about this thing called the latte factor, where maybe we are spending too much on latte, or some of us on Netflix, on gaming, on branded goods. I'm not trying to take away things that you totally like want, but I'm asking you to think about it. Whether is this something necessary, okay? Or is there a better way to achieve what you want at a lower cost? So now, before I go into the latte factor, and we're going to do some mini workshop today, I want to bring you back to the wisdom of it. Why do we even need to do this? I want to bring you back to Proverbs 27. Now, Proverbs 27 is written mostly attributed to King Solomon, who is one of the richest person on the whole entire planet throughout history. At the peak of his like riches, people came and asked him for advice, and he gave very, very interesting advice. Let me give you some insights on Proverbs 27. He mentioned the first thing is, do not boast about tomorrow, for you do not know what a day may bring. Have you seen very boastful people? People who think that just because they are rich, they can do a lot of things. They think that their riches will last. But a lot of times we see the downfall happen very quickly. Correct. So, well, there's a Chinese saying that like before the defeat, it is pride. So this is something we should not boast about tomorrow. I want to share another verse that's very interesting, which, well, I'm saying this maybe to cover my own like my own ass or something like that. Okay, the second portion, Proverbs 27:6, right, says that faithful are the wounds of a friend, but the kisses of an enemy are deceitful. Now, I want to say this because like certain things I'm going to say in all this like workshops or like sharing, right, are going to feel like wounds, are going to be hurtful. These are things that people don't like to listen to because it doesn't feel good. Like, I don't want to see like the true situation of your finances. But I would like you to understand that I'm coming from a perspective of a friend. I want you to tell you the truth, and it may feel like I am giving you wounds. Where else people will tell you everything is okay, you can make money fast, you can actually like invest in this whatever vehicle it is, and you can really become rich in a short time. They are kisses of an enemies because it's not going to end up well. These are deceitful. And finally, as iron sharpen iron, so one person sharpens another. In this community, in this tribe, the whole key thing is to actually be, I would say, open, be honest, and that's where we actually help each other become better. So back to Proverbs 27, there's one particular wisdom again. I want to go through it. It's Proverbs 27, 23 to 24. These are the two verses. It says this, be sure to know the state of your flocks. Now, back in those times, the flock represents the wealth. I've been to Finland once, and they mentioned that the reindeer represents the wealth. You cannot ask the owner, how much reindeer do you have? It's like asking them, how much money do you have in your bank account? So back then, the flocks is like the wealth, the net worth, the bank account. You have to be sure to know the state of your bank account. You have to know where your money is flowing and pay close attention to your herds. Again, that's where your possession is. Now, I'm not asking you to be possessive or like obsess over them, but you must know the condition. For riches are not forever, nor does a crown endure to every generation. So this also goes to show that whatever that is being shared here and whatever wisdom that you have collected and developed over your years of experience, do pass it down to the generations, not just give them wealth. I know a lot of Asian contexts, we like to give our probably children or next generation money, may not be the best for them. Give them the wisdom, give them the experience, give them the opportunity to go and grow themselves. Okay, well, we can support them in education and things like that, but don't give them a free handout. Okay, that's my own opinion. And by the way, this is from Proverbs. Well, we are supposed to actually be a good stewards, and we will be wise if we have the ability to give them something, but give them knowledge. That'll be the best. Now let's go into the latte factor and be aware and be clear of the condition of the flocks. We got to first analyze the ground. Now, what do I mean by that? So let's take a look at the national average. This is by Singapore statistics. Okay, SingStats, the Department of Statistics of Singapore. So it is not something that I came out or like thought about it while I'm jogging. I did my research, and there are some like specific, I would say, benchmark. Now, I'm going to share with you guys this benchmark, and this is the first way we are going to go through our latte factor. Again, if you have missed what latte factor is, our previous sharing, I talk about it. But basically, it is items that, well, we may be able to not spend on it and save that money, and that money, when it compounded, it can amount to millions of dollars. So let's talk about this thing. Taking these statistics, I've created a spreadsheet. I'm going to put a link in the description. You can download it, or you can go to the Telegram group to download and even discuss about it. So this is from the Singapore Department of Statistics based on 2023. Well, it may have changed a little bit, but the household expenditure. Now, this is not household income, it's the expenditure, on average about 5,931. If let's say you think that, wow, I'm not spending so much, I need to spend more, please hold on there for a while, okay? This is just an average. So you can see about 29% or almost 30% goes to housing and utilities. For example, your mortgage, your rental, your utilities, and so on, okay? Maintenance. So it's about 1,007 per month. Food and dining, about 20%, and so on. You can see it goes down. Now, one component that I think is not highlighted clearly is vacation. Well, if you're in Singapore or maybe Asia, most of the people I know, okay, I'm not sure whether I know every social cycle, so please don't judge me for that. But a lot of people, they do plan for vacations. So vacation is actually hotel accommodation services plus recreation, this portion, because I was very curious, where is vacation? So you can see if you add up like $71 per month, $400 per month, end up together probably like $5,000-6,000 every single year, okay, which is like a vacation. So this is roughly how much people spend, about 6%, 7%, about 8% in vacation. There's clothes and footwear, and this is just a general guideline. Now, why am I showing you this? I'm showing you this to actually do some benchmarking. This may not be the ideal state, but at least we start with something. So now this is what the national monthly average is spent on. I'm going to ask you to put your income right here. Example, let's say 5,000. It can be 6,000. Well, you can just do accordingly 6,000. Oops, yeah, put 600, 6,000. I'm going to suggest first 20%. You can adjust this accordingly. Or first 10%, you can put like 10%, okay, or 20%. I'm going to suggest 20%. Is going to put into savings. Put them aside, put into a forced savings. Depends on how, I would say, determined you are, okay? But I'm going to suggest 20%. This is going to be a bit, well, actually, it's not really stretch. You can make it happen. If you're not comfortable, put 10%. So let's say you put 20%, 1,002 is taken away. I'm going to take 1,000 to deduct away from 6,000. So that's about 4,800. And this percentage will be based on 4,800. So you can see when I highlight all these things, the sum is 4,800. So it's by percentage of after savings. So this 4,800 is like a suggested, I would say, allocation based on the national average. May not be the best again. Then I will want you to go and track your past 3 months. How much do you actually spend? So now let me just go back to 5,000 because my example was 5,000. And then you can use this spreadsheet, make a copy of it, and then do accordingly. I'm going to put the spreadsheet that's viewable only. So make sure you make a copy and you can actually adjust, put in your own numbers. So you can see if your actual spend, example, you save like $300 for savings and 1,009 for housing and so on, you just put in based on your actual as close as possible. So it will calculate the actual percentage allocation. Example, you are only allocating 6% of your income for savings. Well, that's too low, correct? And then 40% in housing, that's a little bit high, but well, housing, you can't really change that much. So there are some things you may not immediately be able to change. We'll talk about it in a moment's time. So once you key in your actual spending based on your best estimate, take your past 3 months, like credit card statement, your bank statement to go and find out, know the conditions of your herd, right? Know the conditions of your flocks. Okay, that's where there will be a difference. So this is the difference from the suggested versus the actual, and those that is like variance of or like more than 10%, okay, difference. Okay, there will be a highlight. Okay, you can see all those more than 10%, less than 10%, more than 10%, you'll be highlighted in red. So you can see it's adjustable. Example, let me see. Example, let's say, okay, some people spend a lot on gadgets, correct? So let's say you spend 1,000 on gadgets. Okay, by right, the whole entire amount will not be accurate. You see 17% difference because most people or average they spend about 3.8%, you're spending 21%. There's a 17% difference. You'll be highlighted and say, hey, dude, there's something wrong. Now, so all those that's like very highlighted, okay, I say very highlighted, more than 10% or even 5%, you can go and take a look and see whether there is a latte factor there. Okay, in fact, actually, this one, you're spending less, right? Less than national average. Oh, which is good, which is good. Okay. So those that's more than national average, okay, like example, wow, why am I spending so much in a vehicle? 1,003, where else the national average is about 795. Maybe I should consider a more efficient way of, let's say, spending on my transportation. Okay, maybe instead of driving I would say a limousine, you can downgrade to a Mercedes Benz. No, I'm just giving an example. So need not be a drastic change in lifestyle, but take a look at where are the areas. It is very important. It's just like a health check for your finances. So the doctor will do a health check for you and say, oh, something seems to be wrong right here. Like your certain readings is a bit too high or too low. We got to actually nip that in the bud. Okay, go and find out what's happening and see whether you can do something about it. In fact, most of the time you can, is whether you are willing to do something about it. So I'm going to give you guys this spreadsheet. Again, if you like more of these resources, can comment below and say resources or what else do you want to know. Okay. So this is something I hope will be useful to you guys. Very quickly, I'm going to go through a little bit more things about like list of common latte factors expenses. All these like ideas is in the slides. I'm going to put the slides in the Telegram group. Please go and download it from there. Okay, it's under Telegram. Let me just go through with you the Telegram group under Next Level Academy official. Click on this under files, you'll see quite a number of resources. Tribe Tuesday, session 4, session 3, session 1. There'll be a session 5. I'm going to upload this soon. Okay. So please go ahead and download the list of common latte factors. You can see some of you guys are going to be angry. These are wounds from a friend. Okay. Bubble tea, coffee. Some of you spending too much. Am I spending too much? Let me just try to think about it. Okay. Grab taxi instead of MRT. Okay. Dining out. Impulse online shopping. Download all these apps, dudes. Okay. But if I don't do the online shopping, if I go to the shopping mall, it will cost even more. Well, you gotta go and really assess it for yourself whether it makes sense, okay? And well, I need shopping therapy. Otherwise, it's too stressful. Go for a run, bro. Okay. So go for some exercise. Oh, if I exercise, I have to pay for gym membership. You know you don't. You just need to go to the park and just run one round. I need beautiful shoes, carbon plated one. Come on. You're trying to actually make yourself life worse next time. Again, wounds from a friend, don't do that. Okay, just make sure that you spend on normal things. You really go and take a look. Okay, subscription, there'll be some things that you're not even using anymore. I am guilty of that. I gotta go and check it out. Okay. So hidden unnecessary costs, credit card annual fees. Sometimes you can just ask for a waiver, you know. Nowadays they don't even talk to people. You just need to go and call them and then press a few numbers and they'll waive your credit card. I think so. Okay. So really go and check this out. Again, go and download the slides and look through all this. Now, other possible ways to save money, housing utilities. There are some simple ways to save money, like a better bank account. I was talking to a friend. So there are some bank accounts giving you like a 0.05% interest rate. You can just change to a certain other bank, make sure that your like salary is being credited to the bank. Sometimes you can get up to 3 to even 4%. So meaning to say, if let's say you have, okay, I'm gonna put an example. If you have $100,000 and you put in a bank that gives you 0.05%, that's like what, $50? $50 a year. Well, if you put into like another bank that gives you let's say 4% or 2%, let's say 4% per year, that's like another, it's $4,000, you know. So if I pay you $4,000, will you go and change your bank account? Think about it, okay? So again, one of my friends, Jian Rong, was sharing with me like how he think through all this and then he switched to a better bank. Okay, so really go and do some ideas, studies, and then go through it. Okay, so these are some of the ways to save money. So okay, I'm not going to go through every single thing. Going to be a short session, most importantly, is to take action. Go and take your last 3 months of expenses and then really identify the latte factor and cut down unnecessary spending. And once you identify the spending, make sure you pour that additional amount into forced saving. And then that's where you can allocate at least 50% of those savings into investments. So again, this spreadsheet will be accessible. Download it, go and do your initial study. If it's too much for you, you got to actually start at least tracking your spending right now. You can start tracking right now. If you can't find your last 3 months, track this month's one and then start to actually put it in. You don't have to track to the detailed dollars, but I think it's a good exercise if you have not get started on. And then that's where you can find your latte factor. So again, let me know what you have learned in this segment and if it's beneficial to you. In the next segment, we're going to go into Investing University. I've provided another link. You'll be starting soon in about 1 minute's time. I'll see you there. And for those who are still really cleaning up your financial, please make sure you stay with us the next Tuesday because every Tuesday we'll be going through our financial makeover. All right, I'll see you in the next segment for Investing University. Very interesting. I'm going to talk about financial ratios that we look at when we are investing in certain stocks. All right, see you.